Hi, I'm Diane Dayton. Welcome to Behind the Lines. Today we're going to talk about social networking and social media and how to understand all this, navigate it, and make it work effectively for you. And with us right now we have Diane Meyer. And Diane, this is something that you've gotten into with your business with Marketing by DM.
Yes.
And you've learned so much by even trial and error, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're right, Diane.
Now your business is branding and promotions.
Correct.
And you, when we had talked earlier, you said how you grew your business through Twitter.
I did.
Just amazingly.
Right.
So it's really knowing how to use it effectively. Tell me about this.
Well, it is, you said it perfectly, Diane, when you said trial and error. But I think we, have to just bravely dive in and just try it out. The end of July, beginning of August, I just thought, I was hearing a lot of negative comments about social media. Oh, it's just about this, it's just about that. And I thought, if there are so many businesses and politicians that are using it effectively, then who am I to think that it doesn't work? So I'm very inquisitive to begin with. Mm-hmm. So I thought, well, I'm just going to have to prove this to myself, either prove that it is something that I don't want to put on my plate or that I find is beneficial. So what I did was I just went in to www.twitter.com, and everything is free, and I just signed up. Okay. And I thought, well, I have no idea exactly what I'm doing, so I'm just going to watch. And what I did was I went in and I searched. I didn't know anyone that was on Twitter. So what I did was I thought, well, I want to connect with decision makers, because being in the promotional product print media business, I know that I have to go direct to decision makers, and I want to see what I can learn. Maybe I can connect with someone regarding business and so forth. So you can go in and search and choose who you wish to follow. So that's what I did. And I chose 30 people only initially. Chose CEOs, vice presidents, marketing people, people that were very experienced in social media that I was going to learn from. So my initial experience with social media services was Twitter. So as I was watching the stream, and what a stream is the discussion that is going on among these 30 people that I chose, and they're talking to, maybe one of them's talking to 30,000 people, another one's talking to 800, another one. So then I can see the responses from that. And in the meantime, they are sending out such valuable information. So I got this red accordion file that I put a label on called Learn, because I was just amazed. I was so fascinated by all the information that was coming across my computer that I could actually learn from. So I think to get involved in social media, you do have to have a thirst for knowledge. I just felt as a business person that I didn't want to be left behind, because it's evolving and changing so fast every day that if you don't jump in now, it's going to be much too difficult to pick up. And then I'm looking at my nieces and nephews, 8 and 9 years old, and texting and doing all this. So I thought, I have to know about this. So as I got more familiar with all this information that these wonderful people were sharing on Twitter, giving me these links, I really, appreciated them sharing this with me. So then I learned more about Facebook. I had already been on LinkedIn, because LinkedIn just seemed to be the first one that, as business people and through the chamber and so forth, that we were all, already had signed up and registered for. So I then got braver after about 3 weeks, and I started answering some people.
This was on Twitter, right?
On Twitter. And I opened up a Facebook account, and I got to know a little bit more about what was being discussed on Facebook, which looks very different than Twitter. And then, of course, LinkedIn I was somewhat familiar with, and I had joined some discussion groups, which for me, I found most valuable on LinkedIn. So the varied social media services out there, what you do have to do is really look and listen, you know, even though you're viewing it, but I call it really listening to what's being said. Depending on your business, you definitely want a presence on all three, but whatever you want to get out of it, you have to decide after you play around with it for a while to decide which one you really want to invest the most amount of time. On my website, now I write blogs, and on my website you'll see a blog that I wrote. It's called Twitter is the Cashew.
Okay.
And I got a lot of comments about that. It's very simplistic, but what it is in South America there's this plant. It has a cashew nut, but it also has a flower, and it has the leaf part of the plant as well. Well, the entire plant is edible. So that's just a way to look at social media. It's all wonderful, but maybe you like the cashew better, maybe you like the flower better, maybe you like the plant better. It just depends on who you are.
Yeah. Well, what we're going to do in this program, we're going to look at some of the different aspects of each of these, and we're going to also find out how you landed a big account with Twitter. It's a really good story. Stay with us.